Have you ever felt alone at an RV park? Lake Scott, Kansas is undergoing some upgrades, so we pretty much had the entire place to ourselves. Lake Scott is listed in National Geographic as one of America's 50 must-see parks with its natural springs, wooded canyons, and bluffs. The 1,020-acre park surrounds a 100-acre spring-fed lake with a 160-acre wildlife area just west of the park. There have been over 26 archaeological sites documented in and around the park, uncovering early Native American signs of life. Lake Scott is perfect for camping, boating, swimming, fishing, hiking, and just plain wildlife watching. The dam was built in the 1930s by the Civilian Conservation Corps, trapping the waters of Ladder Creek. Camping was very reasonable. We paid $12 per night with a 50 amp and water. They do have a few full hookup sites for just $24 per night, but they were putting in new electrical lines on those sites, so they weren't available. There are different elevations here for sure. We've got a really cool hiking trail that we're on right now, and it's giving us some good ups and downs. So now I can definitely see why we're going to be able to stay at this park for a little while and check out its many trails. So here we go. We came across the foundation of a building that was constructed back in 1664. A group of Taos Indians fleeing Spanish rule migrated to this region and constructed pueblos and cultivated crops. They even dug ditches from the nearby springs to irrigate their crops. They lived here for 20 years before returning to their homes in the south. In the mid-1890s, the Pueblo ruins were discovered by homesteader Herbert Steele and were excavated by H.T. Martin and Professor S.W. Wilson from the University of Kansas. The park also had some amazing picnic and party gathering spots, with multiple benches and a huge fireplace in each one, perfect for having a family reunion or a company picnic. Once Dory was rehydrated, it was time to head back to the Big Blue. We opted for the road over the trail, putting us closer to this beautiful lake. As we got closer to the campsites, we started to see a lot of trash along the ground. So we decided to be proper guests of the park and pick it up. We all need to do our part to protect nature. The next day, we were feeling a bit hungry and decided to head into nearby Scott City. The main street was pretty busy from most of the storefronts being occupied, but we weren't here to shop. We were on the hunt for La Tijuana. We heard they had the best tacos in Kansas. And with the small fleet of police cars out front, we knew we were in for a treat, because if the police ate there, it had to be good. We both got chopped beef tacos and some chips and queso. We nearly licked our plates clean. If you're ever driving through Kansas and you find yourself on the intersection of Highway 96 and 83, you need to head south on 83. Right on the corner of Main Street and East Nonamaker, you will see a sign like a cactus that says Los Primos Tamales. That's the old sign, but you're definitely at the right spot. The staff were super friendly and the food was freshly cooked and oozing with flavor. Take our word for it and stop by La Tijuana. You won't be sorry that you did. Once we finished eating, we decided to walk along Main Street to work off our delicious meal. We're amazed to hear music coming from the speaker system set up on every streetlight. What a great touch to set the ambiance in this small town. We noticed a sign on the side of the road that said Battle Canyon, so we decided to check it out. It was a very windy day. Here's a brief sample of what it sounded like, even with the windscreen on our mic.
Backside of this dang monument here. Jeez!
Chief Dullknife and Little Wolf led the escape of the Northern Cheyenne from a reservation at Fort Reno in Oklahoma. They wanted to return to their former homes in the north. They crossed the Arkansas River at Cimarron Crossing with 92 men, 120 women, and 141 children. On September 27th of 1878, U.S. troops under the command of Lieutenant Colonel William H. Lewis from Fort Dodge located the Cheyenne families. The Battle of Punished Woman's Fork began. The women, children, and elderly sheltered in and near this cave, near the top of the canyon. Sentries lay hidden in circular pits surrounded by rock, which are still visible today. The U.S. troops advanced on the Cheyenne from the northwest. Casualties were high on the troops' side, since the Cheyenne were dug in well. Lieutenant Colonel Lewis was wounded in the thigh and died on the way to Fort Wayne for treatment. He was the last Army officer killed in Kansas during the Indian Wars. The Cheyenne escaped by night, crossing the Smoky Hill River. Once they made it to Nebraska, with the Army fast on their heels, the party split, one half under Chief Dullknife and the other half under Little Wolf. The Army continued their pursuit of both parties until most of the Cheyenne were either killed or captured. Well, looks like our time in Kansas is coming to an end. Time to head a little further north, heading into Nebraska.